Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well today. It is such a beautiful day in South Florida. The sun is out, no rain, crazy blue skies. It's just beautiful. So, today I want to talk with you a little bit about how I use my fruits and my vegetables in my garden. I'm going to take you to one plant and talk specifically about this one fruit. I plan to do a couple more series on just kind of highlighting different fruits and vegetables. I love to cook, and honestly, this would not be a food forest if I didn't tell you how I use some of this food and how I cook some of this stuff, or, different drinks, different salads, different things that I do with the product. So I'm going to take you to one specific plant I'm going to discuss today and then take you through, how the tree grows, how I prepare the fruit, and final results of what I do with the fruit. So let me walk you to that fruit tree shortly and go from there. All right, so here I am now walking you through my food forest, passing a couple of trees on the way. Papaya trees, some Mexican sunflower over here. This one is right by my shed. And ta-da! Guys, it's my June Plum tree. These are some blossoms this fruit tree constantly produces. And I've been picking the fruits, but I do have some left on it. It's June Plum. That's what I grew up with calling it in Jamaica. And I believe in Trinidad they call it Pomsite. This is actually a dwarf variety. I'm going to pull back a little bit on the camera to show you. So it's a smaller tree. It's probably about 5 foot 10 inches, 5 foot 11, a little bit taller than me. And just going to walk around the tree to show you the production. So these are some baby ones. So it goes from flower to baby fruits. Then at another stage here to these. Then to the larger fruits. They don't get really large. They're probably about the size of a golf ball. From blossom to small fruits to larger fruits to ripen on the tree. This fruit tree is very productive, just absolutely productive. It doesn't stop producing, to be honest. Great tree to have. Typically when it gets a little colder, the fruit tends to ripen. So I don't know if just the pressure of the change of temperature or what it is, but it almost forces the tree into ripening. So right now a lot of green ones on it, but I'll show you later how they ripen and how I use the green ones and really focus on the one dish I'm gonna share with you. One cool thing about this tree, guys, the leaves are actually edible. So for example, if you're making a salad and you pull, say, one of these smaller leaves, let me show you, like a baby leaf, they are actually edible. You can chop them up in your salad. And guys, they actually taste like the fruit itself. They actually taste like the pomsite, the June plum. So that was something that was really cool. I found out later. I mean, I grew up with this tree, this fruit in Jamaica my whole life and had no idea the leaves could be edible. I'm going to go ahead and then take you to where the fruits are, show you how they ripen, and then how I use them in a dish. So here I am back in my kitchen and just want to show you what I've done so far with the June plums. So on this side, this is what they look like green. They have some kind of color to them. They're usually pretty green, but in South Florida here, we get a lot of weather. So these I wash properly before I use and peel them. Right beside it are some that have started ripening. And I can wait till they're riper, but at this stage, I typically will start peeling them. And here's an example of one that has been peeled. So You just take a knife and kind of very thin skin, move around and peel it. Here's another one I'm about to peel. But guys, in this bag are some that I've already peeled. Now you may be wondering why they're frozen. I'll tell you why. These fruits don't ripen all at the same time, which is an amazing thing, which is really good. So I often pick them off the tree, sit them on the counter to ripen. And then as they ripen, I peel them. And in order to preserve them and not have them go bad, I put them in a Ziploc bag and I freeze them. So basically, I peel them and I just continue to add peeled fruits until I have enough to stew. So yes, this bag, I'm going to just dump them in a pot and put some water on and cook them a little bit later. But I just wanted to show you the process. My tree's small. If you have a big tree, I'm sure you can do a big harvest, peel them, and go ahead and prepare them right away. But I have to wait until I have a good amount to prepare. Let me not forget, I love to save my seeds. Guys, these are the seeds of the June Plum tree. And basically, I've never planted them. It's a dwarf variety. I've seen people on YouTube plant them. So I'm going to go ahead and dry these a little bit and then put them in some soil and see if I can grow a tree. Ha! I don't have any more space in my yard to plant a tree. But, I always like to see if I can grow something, and then hopefully, if someone is interested, I'll give the plant away. I don't find many people interested in growing stuff though in my neighborhood, so we'll see where that goes. So that's the process from green fruit to when it ripens to when I store them to get enough to make the dish. And today I'm going to be making stewed June plum. And I'll come back to you in a minute once I have all my ingredients and everything ready. I'll go ahead and show you how I do that. All right, back with my ingredients for my stewed June plum. So here I have actually a cup of sugar. I have some lemon. I have some cinnamon sticks and ginger. So sugar, lemon, cinnamon sticks, ginger. And actually, I have a little bit of salt here, and I'll tell you what I'll do with that. And then over here, I have the June plum. This measured about 4 pounds by weight. I would say about 40 dwarf June plums, and they're pretty much ripe and peeled, and they're in my pot. Guys, I actually never truly do measurements. I just kind of guesstimate everything. But then I realize I'm doing this video for YouTube and you guys probably would need some measurements. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a recipe in the description for you to follow. So basically I have my sugar, lemon, cinnamon, ginger, June plum, and over here, some water. So let me add the June plums, by the way, are still frozen. So I'm going to add the water. Actually, it's about 4 cups of water. And again, it depends on your pot. I like to at least try to get halfway up the June plum or nearly covered. So basically 4 cups of water. I'm going to add the sugar. Typically, this is about a cup, but guys, for now, I'm just going to do like 3/4 cups of sugar because I really don't like this to be sweet. The June plums are tangy, but I like my stew and my fruits a little bit more tangy. And then I'll throw in the two cinnamon sticks, and then I'll put in the ginger. And that's about 2 thumbs of ginger. It's a lot. I do love a lot of ginger. You guys may not want to put so much. And then the salt, I just always learned that a splash of salt helps to bring up the taste in any fruit you're stewing or anything like that. So that's literally a pinch of salt. And then I'll add my lemons. I'm going to add them to my lemon squeezer because I don't want the seeds in there. So then I'll add my lemon. And these are a small lemon. Normally the lemons are much larger. And then once I have all my lemon added, I'm going to put it onto the stove and then I'll come back and show you it cooking. So this has been cooking now for about 10 minutes. Actually, I need to turn the fire down. It's a little too high. And you just watch it. Just actually stir a few here. This is what they start looking like, a little paler in color. But guys, I probably added a little bit too much water. So I would probably have done maybe 2.5 cups because the fruit itself is going to spring some water. But this is it cooking. I'm going to let it go for another probably 10 minutes till they soften a little bit. And then I'll come back and kind of share what the final product looks like. Almost there. Everything is cooked down and looking lovely. And I think because they came from frozen state to preparing, they're taking a little bit longer. So this has been now on the fire for about, I would say 25 minutes. And actually, they were a little bit greener than some people like them. Some people like their June plums to be very ripe. So these are a little bit greener, so they're probably taking a little bit longer to cook. So if you're starting with unfrozen June plum, very ripe June plum, this should only take about 15 minutes to cook down. Plus I added a little bit more water than I wanted to. So I need the water to dry out a little bit more and get more of a syrupy kind of texture to the liquid. Let me show you a little bit. So not as watery, it's getting a little bit nicer and thicker. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. And then once that's done, I'm going to pull them out, cool them off, and I'll show you what the end results look like. All right, guys, here are the final results of my stewed June plum. I left the cinnamon sticks in. Eventually, I'll pull them out. And the ginger. I'll probably leave the ginger in because I love ginger. And I'm going to show you over here. This is what, one of them looks like. Remember, it still has a seed in there. So basically, let me show you a little bit of how that juice, delicious juice looks. The consistency now. Some of the June plum has kind of mashed out into the juice. So give it this nice, thick, lovely texture. And guys, this can be eaten warm or, you store in the fridge after. So let me take a bite, tell you what I think. Oh my goodness. Yummy, yummy, amazing. You may need to add more sugar, but I don't like mine too sweet. But this is stewed June plum, guys. Try it today. In another video, I'm going to show you how to use the green June plums. When I have some time, I'll do another video on the green ones, how we use them for juice, and also how we use them for pickle. So try your stewed June plums today, guys. Let me know if you're from another part of the Caribbean or another country. If you have a separate or different recipe, share that with me. Would love to know what you do with your ripe June plums or even your green ones. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye.